Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. In this video, I will actually show you what you can do to, on the one hand, detect memory leaks in your app, and on the other hand, of course, to fix them. First of all, a little reminder that a few days ago, I actually launched my huge multi-module Android course, which will basically teach you everything relating multi-module architecture, clean architecture, all that from the ground up. So after watching that course and following through it, you will actually know how to build really solid and well-scaling apps, which is, in my opinion, the most important skill in the industry. So if you have that skill, you're definitely ready to take a job. And until Sunday this week, which is January 13th, there's actually a 25% discount on top of all my courses, which you can use. On Sunday, the prices will rise again, or rather after Sunday, not on Sunday. That's the last day. And in addition to that discount, you can also win a one-to-one coaching with me, which I will actually give away among everybody who actually gets that course till Sunday. So if you actually want to get that course for a cheaper price and win a coaching with me, then click the link down below and actually check out what you get and then get the course. But now let's actually jump into memory leaks in Android. What is a memory leak, first of all? Well, maybe you're familiar with the garbage collector in Java. So the garbage collector is something that always kind of runs in the background when your app runs. And its job is to basically collect unused objects and variables and basically free the memory of those. So if you maybe have a C or C++ background, then you have to actually manually manage your memory, where you manually have to say, okay, now I want to free that portion of the memory. I want to free that specific object. In Java, that's different than in Kotlin, because here we have the garbage collector, which does that automatically for us. However, there are certain scenarios in which the garbage collector won't clean up a specific object, even though it was destroyed in our app. So we basically keep an object in memory, even though it's not used anymore. So it will still occupy memory, which is of course not good, because the memory could be used for other objects. And in this video, I will show you how you can actually find out what kind of leaks your app has and how you can then fix these. Let's first of all actually cause a so-called memory leak and try to understand why that is actually a leak. And that is the most common leak, which shouldn't actually happen to you because you even get a warning that this is a leak, like in your IDE. But here what I will do is, in main activity, so I have main activity and a second activity here. In main activity, I will have a companion object in which I will simply have a late init variable for context. And if we do that, then we already get that warning, which says, okay, do not place Android context classes in static fields. This is a memory leak because fields of a companion object will in the end translate to static fields in Java. And if we store context references in static fields, then these won't be cleared up when the activity is cleared up, for example. So if we now go to second activity, for example, and in here we say main activity.context, so we refer to the context we have in the companion object of main activity, and we set this to this, so to second activity, then that would mean as soon as our second activity is destroyed, the reference to the context of this activity would still remain because it's saved in the companion object. So the garbage collector thinks, okay, no, this reference is actually still needed, so I won't clear it up. However, it can't be used because the second activity was destroyed. So there is no need and no use in storing that, but the garbage collector can't detect that and just won't clear it up. Well, and that will cause a memory leak. So if we now actually launch our second activity here with a simple intent. So this second activity class, and then we can say start activity with it. That way we can actually launch the second activity. Let's quickly do that here. You actually won't see anything special here. 1 second. Here in my Pixel device, just a blank screen. We're now on second activity. And as soon as I now go back, and the second activity is destroyed, we actually cause the memory leak because the context of the second activity is still kept in the companion object of main activity, but it's actually destroyed. So yeah, we just caused a memory leak. However, right now we don't have any way to detect that, and especially not to fix it. If we wouldn't know this context would cause this. But luckily there is a very awesome library by Square, which is called Leak Canary, which is basically a library you just need to include in your project, and it will automatically always scan for memory leaks. And then it will show you these with a little, kind of stack trace, just something you can use to understand where that comes from. And all you need to do for that is you need to go to your build.gradle app file and include this dependency. So we have debug implementation, which makes sure this is only applied for a debug build, so not the release one. And then we click on synchronize now. And the cool thing about this version is we don't need to do anything. Like, it's automatically included. It comes as a separate app, which you will see here when I launch this. Switching to my device here. Now we are in second activity. Right now there is no leak because second activity is still alive, so the context is still valid. However, as soon as we go back and actually take a look at our notifications, wait a little bit maybe, then you can see, oh, here's actually something happening. 3 retained objects, tap to dump heap. So that's what we want to now do. So that Leak Canary is actually starting to check for leaks. You can see analyzing heap dump. Takes a little moment. And then if we scroll down, you can see found 1 retained object grouped as 1 distinct leak. So it now found 1 memory leak. If we click on that, we get into a new app that was installed with Leak Canary together. And here you can see we have 1 leak, which is main activity.context. So it properly detected that. And here you get more information about this leak. So where it comes from, like what exactly is leaking. You can see in this case, it's our second activity. Yes, it is leaking. And that way, you can also even see how much memory it occupies, which is, a little bit in this case, but the bigger your object actually is and the more references your object that leaks actually contains, the more memory it will consume that can be used by your and by other apps. So this is a brilliant way to actually detect these leaks and also find out, just where these come from and also to fix these. It's not always as easy as here with the context to detect these leaks, because usually, you don't do these things with static context references because the IDE is just smart enough to give you a warning. But there are lots of scenarios where you actually just introduce a leak without actually thinking about it. That just happens from time to time. Also happens to me. But it's just important that before you release your app, you just run Leak Canary over it, you check for leaks, and then you fix these before releasing, because that's just something that belongs to a solid app. But that's already everything in regards to Leak Canary. Really, if you are interested in building these solid scaling apps, then check out my course down below. Very happy for anybody who gets this, of course, to also support the future of this YouTube channel, but also much more to actually support the future of your career, because it will really help you for that. You will get a certificate that will show you and your future employers that you actually know the contents of this course. So thanks for everybody who gets this. Have an awesome day and see you in the next video. Bye bye.